one chance with me. You only got one chance with me. Dance, work your body, work your body. Dance, only if you got it, only if you got it. Dance, work your body, work your body. Dance, only if you want it, only if you want it. Come real close, feel the beat, now and dance with me. Show me what you got, 'cause there's only one chance with me.
Corporate, you wanna dance, we can make it happen. My heart will open up for the main attraction. I was told never put your eggs in one basket, but I'll drop everything just to get it cracking. One time for the DJ. This for girls who keep turning 25 on their B-day. I see you got the attention of every man, but I'll still be the one if you leave it up to chance.
Show me what you got, 'cause there's only one chance with me. You got more proving to do on the floor, so just dance with me. You only got one chance. You only got one chance with me. You only got one chance. You only got one chance with me. 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 You only got one chance with me.
Hi guys, how are you on today? Listen, welcome to Mirror Talk. Listen, come on in. Come on in. Everyone who comes in, share, like, comment, because baby, this gonna be good tonight. So come on in. Honeys. Baby, I remember a little bit to come in because, you know, people always late, child. They late for church. They late for everything. Give them a little minute. Y'all come on in. Drop y'all names so we can shout you out tonight. I'm going to give y'all to like 5 minutes tonight. Okay? Come on in. Yes. Comment your name. I see some of you guys. Come on in. Hi, y'all. Come on.
Hey, everybody.
Listen. Oh, Tre's hair. Look at it. Ah. This hair is giving me life. Do you hear me? I mean, baby, that's the color I want. Listen, it didn't come out. Look, just, you know, a little piece. A tiny little piece. Listen, come on in. Come on in. Listen, drop y'all names. And y'all share on today. Each one of y'all, a share is free, okay? Ain't asking y'all for money, ain't asking for none of that. Share on tonight. Okay, yes. Toya, hi, love. How are you?
Hi.
Latoya, hey, girl.
Hello.
Oh, my gosh, drop y'all names.
Ooh, this
All
is
y'all
nerve-wracking.
y'all today. Y'all drop y'all names because I want to shout y'all out. Come on in, people of God. Okay, we almost there. 30 seconds. Come on. Yes, come on. All of y'all drop y'all names or just say hi. Y'all got to say hi. Hi, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Almost there. 10 seconds. Come on, like, comment. Darnell, hi. How are you, sir?
Hello.
How are you doing today? Listen, y'all just drop emoji, do something, you know, drop something. Y'all say hello, drop something. just put something there. Okay, it is now the 5 minute. Listen, Mirror Talkers. We're gonna talk today. I want to welcome my lovely, dear new friend. Oh my gosh, I want y'all to give her a warm, beautiful welcome. Tre Hodge on today.
Hi.
For this beautiful, beautiful woman. Oh my gosh. Listen, I am so excited to have you on this platform. You have no clue. Like your support, your honest, and I freaking love it. It's so gracious though.
Thank you. I'm
I
glad to
love
be
it.
here.
Listen, I'm so glad to have you here. Listen, so we kind of talked about it like y'all. We had like probably like a 45-minute conversation, but I want y'all to tune in today because like to me, I think in our communities and where our friendship groups, our everything, sometimes we come with a preconceived notion. We come with this facade and we're not really us. And so we're gonna dig into that today. But first and foremost, Trey, tell me who you are and where you're from and something about you.
Well, hi everybody. My name is Tre Hodge. I am from the British Virgin Islands. I live here in Atlanta since
Hey,
2015.
VIVI.
I do a little bit of everything. I make wigs. I'm venturing into making clothes. Actually, I want to do my own line coming up soon, so I don't want to talk too much about it, but I got it coming in due
Yes.
time. What else? I've recently became a minister in the Lord's Church. Yay!
Yes.
Um, that's
What is
it.
that's it. Listen, it's really not it, y'all. But she is so humble and I love it. I love it. Listen, so if you guys don't know, and if you really don't realize, like, it's important to have these conversations. First of all, we're gonna talk about how in our communities as Black people, one, how we tear each other down and how we aren't positively uplifting each other. I think, and that's where that whole thing of fake woke, because we realize like wokeness is yes, it's streamlined between racism and injustice and racism, but the other part of the definition is injustice in communities, injustice in circles, injustice in our fellow friendships, whatever it may be. That's a part of being woke, but sometimes we not really woke. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really trying to keep it a stack. Like, and that's how it is even with ourselves and how we come and present ourselves in friendships, relationships, and even to dig a little deeper in the LGBT community. And
Absolutely.
if you don't even know, we are both a part of the LGBT community. Listen, and I know y'all probably looking, but my baby is a part of the community too. And y'all like,
Absolutely.
listen, it is. But sometimes we come not being our authentic self. So, Trey, I want you to kind of tell me a little bit about how you became to who you are. What journey you went through to become a woke person. What was that like for you?
But I wouldn't consider myself woke, but I'm awakening. I'm gonna tell you that.
Okay,
Um,
I like that.
I'm getting up because there's still some stuff that I have to like destruct and kind of fix and put back together. Because a lot of things that I've learned originally when I was back home, male at first, part of the
Yes.
trans community. Um, it was hard, especially being one of the only out young kids.
Oh
Well, I
gosh.
wouldn't say out, but you could have missed it. The walk was there, the talk was
Ooh.
there, the way I dressed was there. So it was like, oh. So it was hard. You couldn't miss the people talking about you. You couldn't miss the fights and the arguments.
Yeah.
Um, so when we ventured up to America, it was a very big culture shock. I'm not going to lie, because you don't see people like every day, like comfortably. Like the most I could say I saw was lesbians, but they would be more like studs. But everybody else you wouldn't tell because they're so under the radar. So when I came to America, it was like, dag on it, everybody's here. Especially when I went to school, it was like, does your parents know? Like, Miss
Yeah.
Girl, we out. So I was like,
Out,
okay. So I ventured on some more and stuff started to happen. I was like, okay, where are you, Trey?
yeah.
And here I am, a beautiful trans woman.
Yes, you are, baby. Listen, because I'm not gonna lie. Didn't know not know that you were trans, a part of the trans community. And it when last I think when you first started coming on, I had no clue. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful.
Thank
And I'm like, I love
you.
the purple hair. I love it. Because I'm all things fashion. So that appealed to me right off the gate. And I'm like, oh
That's
my
been
God.
my thing.
Listen, I love fashion. And if I can find a good fashion line that's between save but not too hoochie, I'm all right. You know what I'm
You
saying?
got me right there because I can't do the hoochie.
I can't listen, this is all you're gonna get from me. This it. This it. And sometimes I'm gonna be like this. But listen, this is all you're gonna get from me. It's a little something for the people. But you ain't gonna get no more other than that. So I did not know, but I can imagine. One, I'm a VI girl, first generation here though. However, I didn't have that experience. So tell me a little bit more about that. We briefly talked about it, and you can go as far as you want, or you know that. But how was it for your family? Because sometimes we forget that it's our families going through this transition too. So we
Yeah.
go through a period of like, okay, out the gate I'm trans, out the gate I'm gay, out the gate I'm lesbian. But we don't have to realize we don't realize that it's a transition for our family. It's a transition for our friends. And so was that process at all hard for you, being that you are a church breeded baby? How was that for you? What was that like for you?
Oh, baby, it was difficult. But as a church kid growing up, every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Friday, I was
Yes.
there. Like
Yeah.
you could say I was the church rat because I'm telling you, just to go to the store, I would pass by the church. They have something, I'm there. They
Yes.
having something on a flyer and they going away. I want to know like what can
Yeah.
I do to get there? Like that was me as a child, but then really going through changes and really seeing because I didn't know what gay was. I really didn't
Yeah.
know. I thought it was just like I'm feminine and what's not. Girls move
Oh.
over. I'm here. But
Yeah.
then people call me gay, so I was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
So I just kept it pushing. I was like, okay. Then I grew up and I was like, okay, what is this?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't shake it. You prayed away and all that extra stuff, and
Ooh.
nothing is moving. So I was like, okay, Trey, stop. So I started to live like under the radar, but I did the girlfriend thing and what's not, trying to
Oh,
hide
hold on.
it.
Let's back up. Go back to that pray away part, because people. Let's be real. Let's just be real transparent here. People really think that us church people, when we come out as gay or lesbian, trans, whatever, queer, we're gonna group it off as queer. When we come out, that it's easy for us, or that we haven't done what we were taught to do. Because the truth is,
Baby.
we're taught. Let's keep it a stack that just go to the altar and pray away in Jesus, 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 and call on Him. And some things even come by prayer and consecrating is what I
Hmm.
was taught. So let's go back to that point. How was that a dark place for you? Was that a hard place for you to?
It was a scary place. I'm gonna tell you that because I was that kid that was every altar call I was there, every
Ooh,
baptism I was there, because I wanted to make sure I get it right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I think from primary school, it was a fact of like when I think the LGBT community grew up faster than regular folks, in my
Oh,
opinion, because we have to realize like I am not like everybody else.
yeah.
So I had to really navigate life and try to like I was conscious of how I move and where
Mm,
I go and who I speak to.
yeah.
Because in order to live, I have to be like everybody else to make it through. So this transition has been slow.
Yeah.
So I really on purpose took my time and still is taking my time. Because back home you can't dress like this.
Mm-mm.
Without being bothered, you can't dress like this. And my parents, who they are back home, is
Yeah.
like, ugh. My mom got the rep of the crazy girl, and my dad is like this quiet, like gangster guy. So it was like, Trey, you in dangerous
Right.
territories.
Right.
And they're well known. Like I couldn't go anywhere and not be like, they just got asking me who my parents is. I'd be like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
know. And then we all family because it's a small island. So it's like, ugh. So I had to watch my back. So I really took my time with how I came out. I came out like, I'm gonna tell you, I want to say my first to last year in high school back home, and I did it over the phone, and that was only because that was when the rise of LGBT suicide started to happen, and my mom and we were going home. I'll never forget. We were going home, and my mom was like, "If ever any of my kids have to say anything about say anything to me, they need to come to me." And all that, I was like, should I really tell her now?
Yeah.
Because it happened so funny.
Yeah.
Because I went to a teacher to ask her for her advice. And because the island is so small, she asked a guy friend of hers,
Wow.
like without calling my name, like, how would you want your child to come to you and tell you that, you're gay or what's not? And it just so happened he knows my aunt. My aunt lived across from my dad.
Wow.
So it was like, boom.
So everybody found out.
At the same time. And the calls went around like this. It's like, damn. Then I went to my grandma's house and she was like, "You okay?" I was like, "What the hell happened?" He was like, "That teacher, excuse the accent. That teacher, calling people and telling people about how you the act and all that stuff." I was like, "Wait, I ain't telling nobody yet." So it happened so funny. So when I went home, I called my mom. She just struck me off. I called her. I was like, "Mom," I'll never forget. I was like hanging out the window, like with the phone, so nobody could hear me in the house. I was like, "Mom, so I like boys and girls." And so how you know and what's not? And I was like,
Woo.
all the time.
Woo.
And the conversation kind of died there because it went silent. So I was like, okay, all right. And then like, come to find a couple years after she told me that she cried. I was like, oh damn. Oh damn. My dad was funny. He is listen to me. My dad is one of the funniest guys you will ever meet. I promise you. So he came around the corner. I was in his house. I was at the computer, and he came around the corner. He said, "We need to talk." I was like, "Why do?" He was like, "We need to talk." I was like, "Okay, okay." I had to say, "Okay." I was like,
nervous.
Not your hair say, because it gloves off straight. So I was like, I mean,
nervous. Like, oh my God.
And it was so funny because this is the computer and he was like in the hallway. So I was like, oh God. So I was like trying to find a way to be like, yes. And I was like, yeah. And mind you, this is a couple weeks after breaking up with a girl. So it was like, shoot. This is a lot.
Baby,
this is a lot.
From quadruple.
It was happening so fast. And then we had to talk, he brought up the Bible and I was like, oh, I know what's coming. But he wasn't harsh with it. Because he know I'm a church kid. Everybody know me as a church kid.
Yeah.
So it was like, he said, you know what the Bible say and all that stuff. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell me. I read it.
Yeah.
That's something I did for myself. When I really started to think about it, I was like, I really need to go through and see what the Bible does say about me so I could know what not to do.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And then reboot to a couple years after, I'm going to come back to that, but a couple years after when my grandma died and we came to America, I really noticed that it was like, I didn't know who I was, one. I didn't know who God was, two. And I didn't know where I stand in life because I was like, okay, we're just going to go because we got to make daddy proud. We got to make mommy proud. Grandma just died, so we got to do her good. Yeah. I'm the only grandkid that goes to church like that.
Yeah.
The only one. So it's like, ooh.
Imagine how hard, though, that is to be the only grandchild, one, that goes to church. Two, you're the only grandchild that came out.
Only. That's what's killing me.
And not just
on both sides.
Oh gosh, and trans. Some people on sides of family, you have your gay, your gay cousin or your lesbian cousin, your lesbian aunt who always bring her friend to the cookout. Something
Oh,
like
baby,
that.
we don't got that.
No, y'all don't.
Whew. We have cousins that we suspect, but ain't nobody say nothing. So it's like,
Yes.
but I'm the like you could see it. You
Yes.
can't miss me from a mile away. I promise you. You see me coming, there goes Trey.
That's right. That's right. Listen,
Whips it. I was walking on the street one time and this day was like, look at the model. I was like, what? As I
what?
sway my hips, I was like, what?
Yeah.
And that also made me conscious of how I moved back
Yeah.
home. Because I was like, now I got to straighten up because people seeing it. And I don't want nobody to see it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So I started to man up and then it started to conflict me because one time it was like your chest is too high, then you got to put it down. Then your butt
Yeah.
is too big, so you got to suck it in. And then you walking too fast, you got to slow it down. And then really messed me up.
You were very self-conscious. And
Very.
it took you a while to adjust. Now as time goes on, as like you've been out since what years at this point?
I really don't like to tell people I came out because at this point, if you look at my life, I've been out.
I did.
Been out.
You did a flashback, and I said, "Baby,
I've been out.
you been out." Like I don't
I just came out to myself.
Yes. Now for yourself, do you believe you were hard on yourself though, while you already knew who you like,
Yeah.
who you were? How did that play a part in your social life? Like, how does becoming who you are, realizing who you are, being comfortable with who you are you now more able to be like free, or are you more secluded? How is that life for you?
I'm more conscious of who I'm around.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
first person to out me was a friend. So it was like, I
How
don't
did that
keeping
go?
friends. It went left. It went left. I I'll tell you this. My background in primary school, people would say like I was the good kid. I was a badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I wasn't that badass that would like you could see the badass in you. No, I was underhanded badass. Like
Yeah, you was underhanded. You were like low key. So
but
when you came to that moment of okay, Trey, you're trans. Okay. Was there how did you move as in pertaining to your family? Was that hard or was
that was
that
later on in life.
okay?
And that's another outing situation. Because I was here in America and somebody screenshotted my Instagram. I had on a wig. I didn't do anything at the time. I had on a wig and somebody sent it to my dad. I know who it is now, but
Yeah.
somebody sent it to my dad and he called me right after. So I have a daughter now. I was like, oh my God, damn, shit,
Yeah.
wait, that was fast.
Yeah.
And it kind of broke me because it's like, damn, I was really trying to be the son, you know what I'm saying? Because I am his only son. So it's like, damn, I done messed up the thing.
Yeah. And so does have that and I can see how that pressure, you know what I'm saying, of being the only son. Now do they identify you as a woman? Have they addressed that? Have they
Well, when it comes to transitioning, I have not really like, hey guys, I am trans. You just see the pictures and go with it at this point. So it's like, it's whatever. I'm not I've brought myself to this point to where I'm not explaining anything to anybody.
Yeah.
You see what you see, you know what you know, you think what you think. It's whatever. If you're not in my immediate circle, I don't care.
Yeah.
But with that, me and him haven't had the talk yet. Because every time we try to talk, it's like, ugh. So when he's ready to talk, we're doing something. When I'm ready to talk, we're doing something. So it's like we've come to this point to where it's like, okay, I see, you see, we good right now. Because we call each other from time to time. He check on me, I check on him. We have no bad blood that I know of.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm good. Now, when it comes to family, that...
Yeah. Now I can imagine like when it comes but even okay, so we dealt with the family, but now let's deal with the dynamic of like being in the community. Do you see a lot of acceptance there? Do you see a lot of a home feeling, accepting who I am? I can be a little bit laid back. I don't have to be as self-conscious, more careful. Do you see that more, or are you still on edge in the community?
It's an off and on situation with me, to be honest. Because
Okay.
I mean, everywhere I go, it's like I step, period.
Yes.
But when
Yes.
it comes to being around people, it's like, okay, I've seen how they've treated trans women and what's not. So I move cautiously, but I still step like I know what I'm doing because I don't know, but I don't want to give off the prey vibes to where
Mm.
everybody see me as a victim. I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah.
What I give is what I give. Show me respect, period. You don't have to
Yeah.
like me. I don't care who likes me. I have family who don't. So who are
Mm.
you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Respect me, period. And I think that's where I get the whole thing of like really being at a place like, because we even see injustice in our community, like
Hmm.
that whole thing of that tit for tat or that messiness within our community. And so you haven't really truly found your safe place. Is that safe to
Hmm.
say?
I'll say I've found piece of it, which is
Okay.
in my new church, my home church,
Oh,
the Vision of Atlanta, Vision
yes.
Cathedral.
Yes.
When I joined, it was when I went to that church. I'll say that church was totally different to all the other churches I've been to, because it wasn't like, oh, that goes to church for the gays or what's not, yada da da. It
Yeah.
was more like I went in there. We came the first time we went. That's the first time I got my little sisters to go with me to church.
Wow.
So it was like, oh, plus one. But when we sat in the service and Bishop spoke the very first time, we all like sitting right across from each other. It was like, damn, would he get out of business? So then we came back the next week. I was like, at this point, he got something on us. Because it's like,
Yeah.
why? Why does he know exactly what we're going through?
Yeah.
So I joined, but my sisters didn't because they had a lot going on.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, I see where this man is going. I see the vision. I'm here for it. So I joined the vision, and then it just so happened I happened to get my entire household to go to church. Now,
Wow.
when you could get gunmen, weed men, my mother who does not believe in anything like that anymore, sisters who refuse to go to church,
Yeah.
all in church at the same time,
Yeah. Yeah.
I really got the word. I was like, this is my place. This
Yeah.
is my place.
Yes,
Period.
regardless, and you found your place. And so, with you finding your place, I can imagine how liberating that is. First of all,
Whew.
because for you to go through this whole identity crisis, one, and then you go through the points of where am I? Who am I? What do I believe in? Because you said something that was very vital. You really didn't know who God was. And that's the point. We're taught a God. We're
Yeah.
forced to believe a God. But sometimes we don't know who God truly is. And
I was serving the God of my grandma.
yeah,
That's it.
come
Whatever
on,
she believed, I believed.
listen.
However she spoke, I
I
spoke.
spoke, and whomever it was coming against it, I came against it too. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. How
So
she prayed, I prayed. But, and it was so weird because I wasn't there for like her glory days in church
yeah,
because she got sick like right after I was born. So going to
yeah,
church was like a setback. She had this
yeah.
setback. She was on the praise team. I was like, damn, look
Yeah,
at me on
go
the praise
Granny,
team.
go Granny.
Listen, she played the tambourine, so I knocked one up. And so
Someone knocked one.
if you want to say it, I am basically the imprint of my grandmother, to be
Wow,
honest. She
wow.
did the fashion, she did the church, she did the speaking out and what's not. I did that. Mom worked, dad worked, so I
Yeah,
wasn't really like.
you didn't have.
Now they were there, but the person like stop stuck out to me because we're a blended family, period. We all lived in the same house. We've continued that still. We still live together. But back home, we all live together. Uncle, grandma, mom, sister, cousin, we
Yeah.
all live together. So
Yeah.
that we see everybody all the time. So the one
Yeah.
person that stuck out to me was my grandmother, which is my mom's mom.
Wow.
So things that she did, I did. Things that she liked, I liked. But it wasn't like she influenced me to be on the other side or anything. I was
Right.
still with my dad. I went picking wheels. I changed cars. I did stuff with my dad. So it's not like he wasn't there. He was there.
Yeah. Come on.
So
Make it clear that you didn't
because
go.
some people make an assumption that your dad ain't in your life. And my dad was present.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
and,
He
and
also didn't like how I moved and stuff, but he didn't make it a point to where he killed me
yeah.
in how I moved and what's not. He spoke to me about it, but it wasn't more like a beat down. It was more
Yeah.
of a I see it, I don't like it, but I see it. People
Yeah.
talking. So
Yeah. But the thing is, what I like the fact that you cleared up this misconception that and this perception that people have if you're gay, queer, whatever, that you come from a broken family. You come that you've been raped, molested, beat, abused. No, not everyone has been through that. Now, is that some people's story? Absolutely.
yeah,
But just because you go through that, that does not. Now, do I truly believe that some people firsthand experiences of their
yeah,
sexuality comes from those things? Absolutely. Would have you ever encountered knowing what gay was had you not had a cousin or whatever to touch you? Usually, like, I do believe that some of those things you're introduced to it. Now,
yeah,
do I believe you are going to be who you are regardless? Absolutely. Absolutely.
absolutely.
But I just love the fact that you cleared that up, that parents was there, didn't come from a broken home. Yes, may have struggles, but listen, my parents were present.
Yeah,
And so I love the fact that you cleared that up. Like, I
yeah.
love that. But I
And
think
they weren't together for too long, but they still made it their business to be there,
it doesn't
even in their
matter.
busy schedule.
The best parents be the co-parents.
Listen, as crazy as they were with each other, they didn't bring it to the kids.
Listen, and that
And I
is
live.
respect. Listen, that to me is the most respectful, the most admirable, thing that you can have when it comes to your blended family, especially with a blended family. Like, come on
It
now.
was. It's been crazy to me to really watch my parents, because my dad is the only guy I could see with all his children's mother in one space. My
Wow.
mom at my grandmother's funeral, with the exception of one, had all her children's father at the
Mhm.
funerals, and they were talking to each other. She's like, "Girl, what you got?"
Yeah, I like that. Listen, but I think a good part of what you said as well is that you may not have realized it, but you gleaned to your grandmother. Not that she introduced anything of femininity to her, but you admired that. And so the spirit in you identified with her. And so who you became, what you became, and who you are is a mere reflection of that. Now, even probably even to the point of your mouth and how you may say things or how you may respond.
Listen,
Listen, reincarnation is real, okay? And that's just the truth. Like, there are multiple people who have multiple different stages of them in life, in front of them, in their families. So I love the
yeah,
fact that ad, not knowingly, but you admired her, you gleaned to her. Now, how? Another question: do you correct people with that? Like, people who do, let's say, realize that you're a trans woman and because I hear there's a big stigma. There's a big stigma with people in the trans community. What's your take on that? Do you correct them? Do you let it go? Like, what do you do?
me, because I'm taking my time, I don't make it my business to be like, it's she, It is she. Don't call me he. No, that's not me. I mean, I see why some people get it because the disrespect behind it. But I'm because of how I position myself, especially with my family. I'm not beating up on anyone because I still have, due to personal reasons, I still see myself as my sister's brother, as my mom and dad's son. So
Mm.
I don't too much push it. But when you see me, you can't deny that Miss Ma'am is in the
Come
room.
on, Miss
Okay?
Ma'am.
Because I, I show up, but I'm quiet.
Yeah.
So
Say.
you can't miss me. Now, I could tell, you could really tell the difference with the disrespect.
Yeah.
Because there's a way people say it, try to be funny. We
Yes.
could see it. We
Yes.
don't have to be like,
Yes.
oh my God, is disrespect? He's trying to misgender me. We don't have to. We just know there are some of us that be like, okay, that's somebody I don't need to speak to.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
somebody I don't need to be around. They don't
Yeah.
understand. They won't get it. And that's not my place
Yeah.
to be every minute educating you. I'm going to do it one time and that's it.
That's it. And if you
I'm going to give you 2 leeways and that's it.
two dos today. Listen, but I love the fact, and whatever your personal reasons are, to take your time, because I think I love this about you. You're walking through with them, like you're taking your time along with them. Like that process is needed. That time is needed. And whatever your personal reasons are, that's your personal reasons. But I love the fact that you're taking your time for whatever the reasons are, but you're walking it with them. And you're giving them time to adjust. And it may not be, what you prefer or what you may like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
However, I love that. And I think sometimes if we just take the time to walk through it, like, let's not be so critical that of our family. And you, like you said, when people being shady as hell, okay?
Yeah.
You know when they being shady, you know when they trying to, they pissing you off. They trying to get a arousal out of you. But you know the difference when people make a genuine mistake. Because let's be
Yeah.
real, it's so many pronouns, it's so many.
Listen, I'm still trying to catch up. I'm still trying to
Baby,
catch up.
listen, it's taking me. I'm just getting used to this whole thing of realizing how to talk about non-binary people. How do you? They don't use she, them. They use they. Like, how do you do that? How do you talk like that when you're
I'm
not
trying to understand that part because I don't want to mess up anyone because
right?
because
Right.
I know how it is trying to figure yourself out, and then for somebody to like blatantly just disrespect all the boundaries you just put up, it's like,
Yes. Yes.
So I
Yes.
take my time on how I address non-gender confirming people.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're not he, you're not she, you are
Yeah.
they. Okay. Sometimes it frustrates me a little bit, so I just try
No,
to get your name down pat because I'm not good with names. But
yeah.
I try to get your name on site so that way I don't mess up, just to be safe on my side and not show any ignorance and lack of learning. Because I do
Yeah.
want to learn. I don't want to be in anyone's way or hinder someone's growth because my refusal to learn, you know?
Yeah.
So,
No, I think, and honestly, I think that it's, I'm not going to disagree with you that it is frustrating because this is why, hi, Tiana. Listen, it's,
ah,
this is your
that is my sister.
sister. Hi.
Oh,
I love it. I love this support. Oh my God. I love
that's
it.
my ace.
That's your ace. Listen, you gotta have an ace now. Come on. You gotta have one.
She
Listen.
was one of the first person that knew.
Oh, listen, when you have your family, your people around you, like your true tribe, that's cool. Let me icon that, babe. That's out to you, babe. True tribe. Hold on. But when you have your true tribe, truly, they already know. Ain't nothing
Yeah.
you can say. Ain't nothing you can do. Oh, I came to watch you. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, Trey, I love it. Oh, I'm a sucker for. I'm a sucker for this stuff. Oh my god, I'm a true sucker, man. But yeah, when you have your tribe already, they know, and when whatever you say, whatever you can literally go back from being gay to trans to whatever, and they're like whatever it is. Whatever it is, I support you. I'm with it. I love you. And so I love the support you get. I love that. Now
Thank
tell
you.
me, how has been being in Atlanta helped you? Has it what's the point? And what's the cons of it? Like, let's truly talk about like what's
Well, when I came to Atlanta, I'm not gonna say America because I barely go anywhere on purpose. So
baby, you need to go
uh,
out. Come on.
when I came to Atlanta, the only place I went was school and home. So it's like it wasn't negative, but it was lonely for like 2 seconds. And I met this crazy girl across from the lunch hall, and I was sitting by myself because I did this thing where I would sit like not at a lunch table, but there were benches in front of the school.
Okay.
So I would sit there, and she screamed across the hall, and she's like, "Hey, come here!" So I was like, "Huh? Come here!" I'll never forget her. Her name is 𝘀𝗂𝗽𝗽𝗽, and I sat at her table. She was like, "Why you sitting by yourself?" I was like, I don't know nobody." She's like, "Well, you sit here. You're gonna be here every lunchtime. This is my group." And then she introduced me. I was like, "Well, damn, that was fast."
That's
And then
easy.
it's slowly snowballing into like cool friendships that I've made. Some of them didn't last long because I wasn't open to like getting to know people because I was still like fresh off the boat. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, y'all are crazy, but I got to learn people.
Crazy. Crazy.
But then when it came to the LGBT side of it, it snowballed. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
I went I'm not gonna say too much, but I went ham when it comes to getting to know partners.
Ooh.
But I was secretive with it. So my mom to this day don't believe that I've done anything with anybody. Like, cause I don't tell anybody about. I could be dating somebody now and they would never know.
Really?
It is
Oh,
that.
honey. Honey. Oh, you, I like that. You keep secrets. I probably gotta tell you some stuff about me. Child, you
I
take it off
can't.
the chest.
That's me. Everybody don't need to know. I was like,
Absolutely no, absolutely.
and it was, and with that, the only reason that really developed like that is because it's kind of awkward. Everybody's straight. Like,
Mm-hmm.
when I'm supposed to say,
Yeah.
this boy just talking, Mom, I met a boy. It's like, that's cute. So I didn't know how they would receive it. So I didn't give them the option, like whether to deny it or not. So I just chose to shut it down, not speak about my love life. So it's like,
Wow.
you don't date. It's like,
So what keeps you
yeah,
so secluded? Because let's just be real. You're in Atlanta. This is where the
fair.
gays, the queers, like, baby, we out. Because, baby, let me tell you one thing. If we was to move to Atlanta, honey, baby, honey,
Listen,
listen, we'll be out here in the streets, okay?
I
So,
love Atlanta down, but
so what keeps you so secluded? Is it because of the? Because we have to be honest, in our community, y'all, we really messy. We really messy, and just listen. And I got to y'all make our community looks bad. Like, we look
from the outside looking in,
we look stupid to people because this was supposed to, and this is how we have to talk about the mantras of our community, the people who walked the New York streets, who fought for us. It was supposed to be a community where we uplift, but y'all, all we do is kiki and laugh and roast the next trans person that come out, knowing you're trans,
oh
knowing it's
God.
hard, knowing that it's really it's a difficult journey. Anything you're any letter of the freaking LGBT thing, it's hard. So we sit here and we ridicule each other, and we're messy to people, and we're not a true unity. And so, is that a part of the reason why you kind of stay to yourself? Because we are, listen, the kids be kids, okay?
Listen, I mean, I'm not gonna say that I'm not messy sometimes. Miss Girl got a little messy in it.
No, baby, I'm messy. See, I'm messy.
I got my days.
I'm messy with the truth.
But the way I deal with the rainbow regime, I tend to
the rainbow regime.
Listen, I tend to just seclude like how I feel about people and actually get to know them. Because sometimes we'll be like, that person is messy and what's not. But when you get to know them, there's something behind that, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't just off the bat just be like, no, that's not my kind of people. I get to know, or at least come close to getting to know you. And your soul tells you who not to mess with.
Oh, absolutely.
And you could see it. So I just, in a small way, like get close to people, but in a good enough proximity to where it's like, if you do turn on me, I'm not too close to where I can't drop you.
Ooh.
So it's like, it's whatever.
You dangerous, sis, ma'am. You dangerous.
I mean, I have dealt with enough as a child. I'm telling you, if you look at it, I was a grown child.
Yeah.
I've seen it, the fake friends, the recorded calls,
Yeah.
the stoning. I've been stoned. Who stones people? This is not the biblical age.
Wow.
Like,
I can imagine. Oh my God, stoned for being.
I have seen it all.
Have you been like? Were you? Oh my God! Wow.
My brother and I. That story. My brother and I. We were leaving from the store. For whatever reason, he got in an argument with some people, and they fought with him, and he ran. Me not knowing what was going on, and everybody know me. Like, there's this underlying like judgment thing that happens with me. Like, everybody know I'm gay, but me. So it was like, I don't know what's going on. So he ran, and me not knowing what's going on, just switching my little butt down the street, I felt something. I was like, well, damn, what is that? And then it was like a whole set of rocks just coming at me. And then the second time that happened, I was at a beach. We call it beach jam, but it's a beach party. I was stoned. But I felt the thump on my foot, but I didn't know what it was. Came the next week, my stepfather came home, and he told me about it. So I was like, well, how do you know? Somebody told one of his co-worker's son, and he told him, so he came to tell me. He was like, so how you and tell me people were throwing rocks at you? I was like, I didn't know people was throwing rocks at me. I was drunk.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
So it was like, I've seen it. So I'm very cautious, very secluded. My friends are my ex-buku, my sisters, my brother, my mom, and that's it.
Wow. But you know what? That makes sense. Why you love, but it's like a long spoon, baby.
Listen, that's a hefty cord, okay? Because I'm gonna get to know you. I don't mind, but
But you remind me of a person who has to have a trial with a person. Like,
yes, call me Netflix, because
Yes, because I was literally about to say Netflix. I was like, you remind me of Netflix or Stars, because they're gonna have a trial with you. Because to me, I think that it makes sense why you are so distant, but yet loving. Not saying you don't want to, but do sometimes you wish like you would let people in other than your family, because
sure.
Some family members, not saying that family could get boring, not saying that, but sometimes you want other people. Have you had people who try to get to know you and you just stop? Like, how was that experience?
In friendship and dating, there's a lot of people, but Hey.
Dion, hi.
Hey.
Listen, he is the bishop from the South Carolina, and baby, he's affirming. He is everything, honey. I love it. I love it. But go ahead for sure. Answer you can elaborate on that.
Well, I, there's a lot because there are people who try to get to know me, and I'll shut it down because
Mm.
of something like I think might go off. Like I'll be what I listen is I let you speak.
No, say that. No, back that up and say that. Say that. Yeah.
It's really not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
So some people would be like, they speaking to me and I'm like, I'm already judging it. I was like, that's a fuck up. That's a mess up. You gonna fall through. It's not gonna work. It was cute meeting you next.
Yeah.
So I try to keep it almost like a speed dating kind of thing. So it's like, it was cute talking to you. Like, even now, I kind of see it really now that I'm starting to get to know people, especially at church, because that's the only place I really go. Like, people will be speaking to me and I'm like, yes, oh my God, that's cute.
Yeah.
Like, I'm genuinely happy, but it's like, what's your motive?
Yeah.
What's next? Like, that's cute. So it's almost like I'm watching everybody like under a whole lens. So it's like, that's cute, but yeah, what's your track record? How's your friends? Why don't you have friends? Like,
so is
like,
okay. So this is dating and friends.
both, all in one.
Well, hell, what you thought about me when I asked you to come on the show? Huh?
Listen,
Tell me the truth. I want to know right here and now.
I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. Shit boots. I was scared because I was like, Lord, this is an interview and my life is not public. What would she ask me? What would she try to bring out of me? What does she know about me? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, girl. Let's do it. Let's do it. Because listen to me. I'll tell you this much.
Okay.
This is the first time I've really spoken about myself in public without freezing like a dead person.
Wow.
Throughout my entire ministry class, every time it was time for me to speak, my head is in the books, like if I don't know the notes, and I would choke on the words and pause.
Wow.
And that would be the end of this conversation because it wouldn't be anything else.
Right.
Like nerves would take over me. So it was like, Jesus. So when you asked me, I was like, Lord,
yeah.
what now? So I'm happy I took the chance though, because
I'm glad you did too.
I really sit and I tried. There was one thing I said in one of my ministry class, and I said, you never know who's listening to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're basically, this is my words, I'll never forget that, because that was the last time I spoke when my teacher was like, why are you so nervous? So I said, God is the TV, we are the plugs. There is somebody that needs to see the TV, and we might be the closest proximity to them. So that's why I watch how I speak and act around people, because I might be the closest thing to God that somebody sees. So I don't want to be out here acting a fool or doing something stupid and mess up the whole thing. And then somebody, that's why church people is. This is why I don't go to church. No, babes. There are some good people out here.
Yeah.
We just not loud.
No, would I tell you the toughest thing for me that I've had to learn? I'm a very outgoing person. I'm a very you heard me on the phone. I'm like that all the time. So, but I have to realize to people that can come off fake. People that can come off too much. And so I've had to take a backseat of, okay, I'm going to let you know how outgoing I am, but still I have my eye on you. Still, I'm not going to tell you too much. And I had to learn to stop oversharing. Because
listen, that was my mess up right there.
Listen, so to know that you carefully walk but still move with grace. I love that because that's me. I love that. I love that concept. But I'm glad you came. Oh, that print on my hand, Lord. You. I'm glad you still came to and you accepted the invitation because at first I was like, I knew there was like a little. I felt the love through when you comment on the lives and stuff, but I was like, there's something else.
Well, I'll say it like this. This is how I am with everybody, especially with people who I've recently met.
Yeah.
It's something about when people doing stuff. I'm like, oh, look at you doing stuff. So it's like I want to see more. Like, what you got? Let's go. Let's give it. But to be honest, I'm not the same way with myself sometimes. So it's like, let me get you out there. Put me on pause. You got it. Let's go. What's next?
Yeah. But this is what this is about, though. This is not just like you finding your voice and you're talking, but like this is like you coming because, like you said, I love the analogy you use, and I'm telling you, I'm taking it. And every time I use it, I'm gonna say, Trey, that's for you, girl. Like that's what I'm gonna do. But I love the analogy you use because to me, you have to begin to push yourself. Like the same love that you share, the same vibrance you give, like you have to push that in whatever you do. So if that's you, you know, hey, I'm about to go and shop in China on this online website to find some material to start doing this and start like, hey, Lena, you got Mirror Talks? Can you sample my stuff? Hell yeah, I can.
When it comes to that, I'm working on it. I got some stuff in there. I'm starting back drawing up some sketches.
Yes.
Because I liked what I had, but there's a specific something. No, there's a specific thing I want to do with it.
Okay.
So I have some stuff, especially now that the fashion game has changed.
Ooh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I don't want to tweak those because I like those how they are. Those were sampled off of some life experiences.
Okay.
That's how they were drawn. So the ones that I want to get out, I have to start back because I really put a pause on fashion. I just make clothes for me and kept it pushing. So whatever you see is what you see. And people be like, where you got that skirt from? Honey, my hands.
My hands. I love that. Listen, first of all, I want to publicly, thank you for coming on this platform. And I know it's not going to be the last because I didn't want it to be the last. And you're going to come on again. You know, it may not be next week, but it may be in 3 weeks. Listen, because I want you to begin to, this is my hope for you. And I haven't known you long. Let me just make this clear. I don't know Trey long, okay? But there are specific people who need to hear you. But because you're so quiet sometimes and you don't speak, and you withhold what is supposed to be said to them through you. And then it comes around again in a different form and you miss it. So I want this to be your platform as well. Anybody who gets on this platform, this is their platform too. Yes, my name is here. Yes, this is Mirror Talks with Late. But also today, this is Mirror Talks with Trey too. Because people need to hear you. People are going to be blessed by what you say. And guess what? There are a lot of people like you. There are a lot of people who are going through this journey like you that don't know really where they don't really trust too many people. They're very like, so what's your motive? Like there's a lot of people like you, but they don't have anybody to relate to because guess what? Everybody's out here trying to be friends with somebody and trying to have sex with somebody. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what that feels like to have a person who goes through those same similar thought processes, just like you do. So first of all, thank you. I freaking love you for coming on here.
You're welcome.
Listen, tell the people your social media so they could go follow you.
But my social medias are all the same now. Simply Trey, except Facebook I can't get it changed, so it's Tre Fashionista. All platform. TikTok is where I'm at mostly. Instagram is where I post my pictures. Facebook is for family. So
That's what I'm saying.
that's what's it. YouTube. Yeah. Later on in life.
Later on in life. I love that. I love that. Listen, thank you again. I just hope, one, you're going to come on here again, like I've said. But as well, I just appreciate you for just definitely taking it, not being in that shell again like you have. And, kind of be like, I really appreciate you for coming on here. And definitely just telling the people a little bit more about your journey, because this is what it's about. So, again, listen, every one of you guys on here, my platforms is there. Share, like, a share is free. First of all, I'm not up here asking for a cash out because it's okay. I'm not, listen, don't, you can give. I'm not going to stop your blessing, because if the Lord take blessing, bless me, and I'll bless you too. Share, like, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook, and soon to get on Instagram once Instagram gets these stupid policies together. But we are live on Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday. And guys, we're coming back with some content. And listen, one of y'all, I might reach out to y'all to come on here. So listen, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you. And Mirror Talkers, let's keep talking, because we're going to talk about it. Yes, thank you guys, each and every one of you guys, for coming on. You guys take care.
Bye.